Welcome guys, welcome back to the Bianconeri for another match preview, a Coppa Italia one, a semi-final, a big one, also because it's Fiorentina, it's not I won't say it's a big game, but it's always an interesting game because, well, they hate us. They actually hate us. And with the Vlahovic thing, the Chiesa thing next season, so the transfers, yeah, the hate didn't didn't diminish. It only got worse, and they are pushing for this game, Fiorentina, on their social media accounts, making it look like it's one of the biggest games ever. So yeah, it's gonna be hectic over there. Before we get into the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel as always, and also video is brought to you by SPORTENING app. It's an app where you can check the news, events related. You can chat. We have a group chat in it. You can do the player ratings after the game, and you can check the scores, the stats from the games, all those things. Link for that is in the description. It's a simple download link. It will get you straight to our group chat also. So link for that in the description. Now we get into it, the game. Semi-final, it's two-legged semi-final, and there's still an away goal rule from next season. So next season Coppa Italia, the away goal rule will also be left out, but then again, the away goal only, or like there's only two legs in the semi-final of the Coppa Italia, so that's that. Now we know we are struggling with injuries. We have a lot of injuries. We have key injuries in positions, more than one player at the back. We have three defenders out. Dybala's out, McKennie, Zakaria, Chiesa. You know who's missing. They are important players, key players. So Allegri is forced to switch things around. Now, I said the entire week, basically, considering we only have three midfielders fit now, I expected Miretti to get a start. But I also said the one who Allegri thinks is more ready, the most ready to start, is Ake. And according to rumors, it's gonna be Ake. Again, when I'm recording the video, this is the rumor lineup. It can change. As you know, it's just a rumor. It's from Romeo, so it's a good rumor, but it can still change. We will go into the lineup. So it's Perin, because he plays Coppa Italia games. And then the backline, it's a back three. It's Danilo, is De Ligt, and it's Chilio. Then we go with Ake, Locatelli, Arthur, Rabiot, Pellegrini, and up top we have Vlahovic and Morata. Now, looking at that lineup, it doesn't look great. Let's be honest, that backline looks kind of scary because I cannot remember De Chilio playing in a 3 at the back, in a 3-5-2. Maybe he has done that with Allegri a few years back, 1 or 2 games, but I cannot remember that, so that's kind of weird. Pellegrini, knowing his defensive, how do you want to say it, stability, it kind of scares me that he needs to cover De Chilio, I want to say, but I mean, drop back enough to help out De Chilio. Like, that's something that kind of scares me, worries me. I think worry is the better word than scared. So that's something to look out for. Now, my issue, I know you can all disagree in the chat, in the comments. You can say, I don't agree with you. I would do that. That's fine. This is my opinion. Looking at the injuries we have, looking at the games we still have upcoming, and the fact that this is a two-legged game, so you can, even if you lose, and it's not a big loss, you can turn it around in April when we play Fiorentina again in the Coppa Italia at home. I do have a problem with playing all three of our fit midfielders. I expected Miretti to play, and again, maybe Miretti starts, I don't know, but it's a risky staking, and I also would have rested Vlahovic because he's our main guy, and you cannot afford to lose him. Like, from all the players that are fit at the moment, you cannot afford to lose him, and maybe De Ligt because he's the only center back. Those two players you cannot afford to miss. Now, I thought Bonucci was fit, but apparently he's not fit, so I also said on Sunday I would rest De Ligt, but that's not possible. Like, he needs to play because he's only fit center back. Like, there's no other option. Like, he's already basically putting a puzzle together that doesn't look well with De Chilio in there. So you cannot also drop the leg now. He needs to play. It is what it is. But playing those three midfielders, only three midfielders who are fit, it's kind of a risk. And Vlahovic, that's my personal opinion, I would have rested him just because he's very important. He's key with the games coming up and the environment. I know he wants to play, but it's just my opinion. It's the feeling I have. Now, the importance of the cup. The club wants to win it. Allegri wants to win it. I think every fan wants to win it. But getting top 4 is still the priority. So I have no idea how we will set up today. And with setup, I don't mean lineup. I mean in terms of how are we going to play. Are we going to go for it? Because Allegri basically said we need to score goals because the away goal rule is important. Will we just sit back? What I think is going to happen, I think Fiorentina is just coming at us from the get-go. They will push. They will go for it from the first minute just because. And I know people were saying, maybe not people, excuse me, journalists were suggesting that Fiorentina maybe take it slow and maybe feel it out a bit. But I don't believe that. With the whole situation with Vlahovic, that stadium will be buzzing and they will push that team from the first minute. And that's my fear, that we will, how do you want to say it? How will I put it? Give away the game after a few minutes. That's my fear, that we will lose the game in the first few minutes. That's why that's what I actually am fearing that's going to happen, that we're kind of going to give away the game in the first 20 minutes, like something crazy, 2-0 down. That's my fear, because I don't know, but I have a feeling, or I suspect that the league, Fiorentina is going to go for it. From the first minute, they're going to go very hard, because that's how they play. It's high intensity, it's quality on the ball, it's attacking football, it's going for it for 90 minutes. So my fear is we cannot match that from the get-go, and that we will struggle big time, because we have seen when we are being put under pressure, we are really bad in terms of keeping possession, keeping the ball into the team, keeping the ball away from the opponent, get a breathe, and build up from the back and create some good quality, decent chances. That's something we struggle at. So if they're gonna go for it from the get-go, that's my fear, that we will basically throw away the game in the first few minutes. In the first few minutes, I mean the first 20 minutes, and you're like, oh, it's 2-0 now. What do we need to do? That's the only thing I'm really fearing. Also looking at that lineup, basically. That's that. But Ake, that's basically the title of the show, so we'll talk about Ake. He's gonna play, apparently. He's the rumored under 23 player to get a start. Under 20, I say under 23, but he's with the first team now. But he's a player now. Have I seen a lot of Ake? I've seen what he did for us, and I've seen him play a few times with the under 23. So I would not say I've seen a lot of him. I'm not gonna lie, but he's a player. He reminds me a bit of Douglas Costa in terms of he's very direct. Also made a bit of Chiesa. It's a mix of both. Like, he's very, very direct, and I think he's very, would I say technical? Will I call it? I will call it technical, but I mean in terms of, like, he loves to do some step overs before. Like, that's the type of player he is. That's how he plays. He's very, very direct. Now, if my feeling is right, that Fiorentina are gonna go for it from the get-go, he can be very, very important in terms of breaking out on the counter. Because if they are going for it like I expect them to do, there will be space, because they usually play in 3-5-2. If you win the ball back, there will be space, and then it's basically getting the ball to Ake and see what he can do. Like I said it, like people say, oh, it's a lot of pressure. I think the pressure is off. Look at the team. He's gonna play. I think he's gonna be free in his mind. Like, it's a big game. It's first start for him in a Coppa Italia semifinal. I think he's gonna just soak it in and do his thing. Let's see. Nobody's gonna shoot him if he has a bad game. He has a bad game. It's a situation. We have a lot of injuries, so I don't think anyone is gonna, how do you want to say, rip him if he has a bad game. It is what it is. Like, everybody's asking for it. Apparently, reportedly, Allegri is giving what we are asking for. He's giving us that with at least one player, Ake, in this instance. So let's see. Let's see. I'm kind of excited to see what he can do, because when he came on, and again, it's Sampdoria. It was Sampdoria's B team also, but you can see he's one player who is kind of fearless, and if he doesn't succeed with what he was trying to do, he will do it again, and he will do it again, and it will succeed, and it will look good. So he's that type of player. We are kind of missing that, to be honest. So I'm kind of excited to see what he will bring to the table, also moving forward, because it's not just Fiorentina. Like Dybala will be back, maybe will not play for Spezia, but like moving forward, players still need a rest, and if he can do a job, that's good for us. So yeah, that's basically our preview. Because there's a lot of rumors about Fiorentina lineup, but a lot of them. So it's very hard to basically pinpoint one starting 11. So let's see. But they usually go with a 3-5-2. That's their way. So let's see. Let's see how they will play. So yeah, that's a preview. Let me know in the comments, what do you think with the Ake? Would you play all the three midfielders we have, the fit ones? Would you play Vlahovic? And what's your score prediction? Let me know in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you after the game for a match reaction. Ciao.